Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Reader's Workshop. Before we get started, please make sure you're ready to learn. Eyes watching, ears listening, quiet as a mouse, and still like a pretzel. Okay, so the last time we met, we talked about try and lion. And try and lion reminded us that if we get stuck, we can go back to the beginning of the sentence and reread it to see if we made a mistake or if we just need to put the words together to make them a smoother thought. Okay, so try and lion was all about rereading, going back to the beginning. And try and lion also wanted us to make sure that we chose a word that looks right, sounds right, and makes sense. Okay, we don't just pick any word when we reread and try again. We still want to make sure we're listening to make sure it looks right, sounds right, and makes sense. So in our reading strategy toolbox, we are totally almost filled up. We have our sight word strategy, eagle eye, which searches the pictures for clues, lips the fish, says the first sound of the word, pointer puppy points underneath each word, tappy penguin, tap it out, chunky monkey, look for a chunk or a baby word. Stretchy snake stretches it out and puts it back together. Helpful kangaroo asks for help, although he doesn't always get it. And then we talked about monitoring, about how to make sure we are always thinking and making sure that we're understanding what we're reading by asking, does it look right? Does it sound right? Does it make sense? And then, of course, we just talked about try and lion. So, I mean, gosh, that's a mouthful. You guys know a lot of strategies. Today, we're going to meet Skippy Frog. Okay? And we're going to learn about skipping words. So, a normal frog, you know, says ribbit, 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 right? However, Skippy Frog says something different. Skippy Frog says, skip it, skip it, skip it, skip it, skip it. Okay. Not this kind of skipping, although she looks like she's having a lot of fun. That's not the kind of skipping that Skippy Frog is talking about. Skippy Frog tells us that if you're unsure of a word, you can skip over it, just like this frog is doing. You can read to the end of the sentence and see if the words that come after it can help you figure it out. So sometimes the words that come after actually can help you know what the tricky word was that you couldn't figure out. So whereas we learned that with try and lion, we reread and go back, Skippy Frog is doing the opposite. Skippy Frog is skipping forward. He is reading on to try to look for a clue, okay? So here's an example. This is a great example where you can read on and skip the word. So you see the underlined word is the one I'm stuck on. So I'm going to be able to figure out the other words. It, an egg. Okay, now that I've read to the end of the sentence, I can go back and see if I can figure out a word, oopsie, that looks right, sounds right, and makes sense. Okay, so it, an egg. Let me go back. It lays an egg. Okay, so by reading on and going back and trying lips the fish, I was able to figure it out. Here's another example. Okay, this is the word I'm stuck on, so I'm going to skip over it and see if this word helps me. Okay, so we go to the shop. All right, well, let me go back. We go to the Okay, now eagle eye is going to help me because I can see that there's balloons in this picture. So let me try it and see if it looks right, sounds right, and makes sense. We go to the balloon shop. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, here's another example. Oopsie. Neat, I didn't even know you could do that. Okay, so here's another example. This is the word I'm stuck on. I'm gonna skip over it and read on. Okay, I am in a cave. I here all day. What am I? All right, well, I can see it's a bat. I know what bats do during the day. Let me see. I'll go back. See if I can think of a word that looks right, sounds right, and makes sense. I am in a cave. I sleep here all day. What am I? Okay, so skipping on and seeing the words that come after can help. Okay, I have another example. Again, here's the word I'm stuck on. I'm going to skip it and see if these can help. Okay. I am in the woods. I am the green leaves. Well, okay. I can see from the picture that he's eating the green leaves. Let me go back and see if that works. I am in the woods. I am eating the green leaves. What am I? Yes, okay. So skipping and seeing the words that come after can really help you sometimes. Okay. Remember, I can't say this enough. Remember, after you skip the word, you go back to the beginning and see if you can figure out a word that looks right, sounds right, and makes sense. So these two are partners, right? Because when you skip the word and you read on and keep going, you still have to then go back to the beginning of the sentence like Try and Line wants you to do, and then see if that you can puzzle out what that word is that you couldn't figure out the first time. Okay, so first keep going, but then also go back. All right, so now it's your turn to practice skipping words. Look at these froggy pals. You can read on just like we do. And please remember that when you're reading and you get stuck, you should read on and see if you can find a clue. Okay, my friends, happy reading. See you next time.